Imagine a world where there are no borders between nations and no armies with thousands of soldiers dying every day, and the globe became all people's property. This is the road to true globalization and an outcry against a sprawling, self-destructive capitalism. Did you know that only 0.1% of the world's population own 80% of the world's wealth? Against this fatal development, we must cry out and resist right now. We show the way of how the world can come to peace and have similar living conditions and fair distribution of energy, water, and land, which really are the basics for world peace. These three basic resources have to become a property of humanity, not allowed to be in private hands, and which cannot belong to countries or states. This may sound a bit dreamy to you, but let's talk practical. First, a constitution. A group of the best qualified personalities from all over the world would gather and make a drafting of a constitution. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, and economists, a maximum number of 50 people. There will be no need for armies nor weapons, so we would destroy them all to make sure that no power is supported by weapons, and then forbid any army industries. Now the world doesn't have any form of weapons. Instead, these factories would produce machines for agriculture and construction to protect the environment. The only type of weapons allowed will be in the hands of the world's government police force, which will be spread over the globe. Borders, one of the biggest reasons for war, could finally cease to exist. Now there is no reason to make war. People could go to new places easier, because, after all, Earth belongs to all of mankind equally. Let's talk about the economy. The ideal state is establishing a capitalist economic system with restriction of the power of finance by seeking a united world central bank with only one currency and the private sector to be shut down. No more economic crisis and currency breakdown. What about the educational system, you might wonder? There will be a uniform global educational system that takes into account regional differences. This means equal learning systems for all people, regardless of their color, sex, and race. As a result of all these services, there should be uniform global tax laws, and the income will be limited like this. The maximum amount of allowed money owned by one person should not exceed $10 million, and the maximum size of land owned by one person should not exceed 5,000 square meters. UWG will establish a system with maximum and minimum income for all people. The maximum income should not exceed $500,000 per person a year, and the minimum income should not be lower than $6,000 per year. And income for the same jobs will be equal for different races and sexes. So the world will be divided into administration zones, and the base of the UWG should change every 4 years within the administration zones, from capital to capital. These zones will be divided in 3 levels, populated by ethnically and linguistically similar peoples. So we'll keep the current administrations and rebuild them step by step, such as Europe, West Asia, North Africa, East Asia, Australia, North America, Central America, and South America. And finally, the introduction of a central standard language to support global understanding while maintaining and fostering existing regional languages and dialects. Let's support each other and let's support the UWG. Supporting other people and the society will make you happier. The UWG's job is to make the world population more equal, and it has to distribute the riches of the earth to everyone. This can only be successful if most of the people support this idea. Let's bring the ownership of our planet back to the people.